Hi everyone, hope you all doing well. Now this video is kind of out of the topic or out of the very few previous videos that you have seen on my channel. So the discussion over here is all about the parents who are looking for their students or the students who are themselves looking for their study in abroad. Abroad in what sense? In the sense that people start comparing that okay, should we study in this architecture field or any of the design courses at some point, either in India or abroad. The question which comes out to the parents or the students mind is very simple questions, something like this, that what is the cost of education, very first and very important thing. Second question which comes to their mind is that is it really worth enough to study in India, or is it better to go to abroad study, because as we all know the career aspects in terms of this design career is comparatively more when you look for options like US or UK. But let me tell you guys here one simple thing, and let we will move on to this discussion further. But before that, let me tell you guys one very simple thing. Okay. So the question comes here that is studying in India worth enough or is going to abroad worth enough? When you are thinking about this particular question, many people might come up and tell you that in today's world, taking a loan and going to abroad and studying out over there is not at all a problem. This kind of questions or the similar kind of responses I do get from many people saying this kind of thing. But always remember before you decide that one simple thing: the loan amount that you're taking from the bank, no one is going to do the favor to you and tell you after some point of time that okay, you have taken this loan, you don't need to waive it out. You can take it. It was after all for your education. You grow in life. No one is that grateful or no one is that helpful. So always remember, when someone is pointing it out to you and telling this very simple thing, you can take a loan and go to abroad or go to this place or spend this amount. Always remember that loan amount with the interest, you are the person who are going to pay it off. Now let's talk about the very simple question. Okay, one more thing. Before we go to this question, let me tell you guys about one simple story. Okay, the story of my friend, you can tell, and which I just got to know from him a few days back. Let me share that with you guys first, very real quick. Okay, so the thing was that I met one of my friends when I joined my college, BMS College of Architecture in Bangalore. We both joined the same year. After the very first year, if I'm not very wrong, or before the second semester, so there are 2 semesters in a year. So right before the second semester was over, or might be after it was over, he left college, he dropped out of the college. And from then we were not in great touch. Recently, for some reason, I got connected to him and I got to know that okay, he is in the US. That's quite surprising, what happened and all. We started gossiping with each other for a certain period of time. And from him, I got to know that after he dropped out, or by the time he dropped out, actually he got a very good option in US, Chicago, to study over there in a real good college. Now, which college, what is it all about? I'm planning for a session with him in the upcoming days, live one-on-one discussion with him about what all he faced or what are the options, how he went there, and what are the steps to follow for this particular thing. If I'm coming up with the session, you all need to stay tuned and watch all the things that he follows, so that might help you a lot in your upcoming decision. Okay, now the point comes here, what about his story? So he left the college and we were not in great touch. Recently, when I came in touch with him and we had a discussion, so he got that offer and he went to Chicago for his study. And see, definitely the very first aspect is that when you compare US with India, job prospects are much better, much better. Okay?
Wow.
You cannot really compare it with India, where people don't even bother about an architect and they are just looking for the civil engineers. That is the real scenario. If I really have to tell you one about a point, about the salary and all, people do ask. So, coming from another state, and shifting to another state where the fee structure, like in Bangalore, you have a different fee structure for other state students and for the students from the own state, from the same state. Okay, your marks doesn't matter over here. So what I felt is that the amount of money that I am spending over here and the amount of money that he is spending over there, that's what the point of the whole discussion was, is comparatively the same. There is not much difference in the educational, hostel and fooding cost. Like whatever you need to spend particularly pays for your college, it's almost the similar expense for an other state category student coming to Karnataka or in Bangalore and studying over here, and for him from India moving to the US. Might be the journey cost is more, but you can accept that if you're getting a better job at the end of 5 years, you're getting a good life. So what are the changes? Let me talk about that real quick. So this will help you guys to get a good idea or a good catch of it. So what are the changes that we get to see when we look for studying in India or studying in the US? The most important of the basic differences that I have got to know from him was, very first thing, cost remains the same. Second, your education or the educational program completely changes. First of all, 5 hard years of study in India, 4 years of study in US. Isn't that a great fact? Second, second we already discussed. Third thing, the amount of pressure that the Indian education system has put on the students, for which we know several factors are occurring in today's world. There has been a number of suicides from the students for this particular same fact. People are not able to take up the pressure. I do accept that matter, but after repeated same things or after repeated same convos or conversations with the government stuff, people are not at all looking enough to the education sector or are not looking for a change in the education sector. That's really a point of concern. So if I talk about my exams, first semester, including, we have around 8 subjects. So there are 3 CIs. CI is actually continuous internal evaluation, full form. It's like short-term examinations of 50 marks each, and there's a final one. So you have actually 4 exams, 1 major, 3 minor, in this way I can take, but each of them takes a lot of pressure. So what happens in architecture, I'm telling basically 4 exams, 4 8s are 32. Now for some of the subjects, you have internal, external, both. So when this comes, around 39 to 40 exams per semester a student needs to give. Per semester I am talking about. Now when you talk about the students or this past 2 years or this point of time, when the semesters are quite shortened due to this COVID matter, so it's really a hectic pressure. Whereas when you go to the US and look for the education system, like I'm particularly talking about the college he is in right now in Chicago in the US, the difference is that he is having 5 subjects and 5 exams for that in a whole semester. 5 months, 1 semester, 1 month gap, 1 month holiday, then again 5 months, 1 semester. Where we architects, when you go and check any video on YouTube, ask anyone, everyone will have to tell you architecture is a hectic course. We don't have weekends, sleepless nights and all. Matter of fact, over there is completely the other way around. What he just told me was like, I felt like, why I am here spending this amount of time in this particular college, and I feel like I am wasting my time and money both over here, because he is getting his weekends free, no Saturday classes, and he has to just work for 1 or 2 hours, and that's how he can complete the stuff. So you can understand the difference between the pressure of education over here in India and the pressure of education in the abroad. Coming to the third important thing, anyways, I will be coming up with that session, as I already mentioned. We'll figure out a time, because the time zones are completely different. We have to figure out a time which is figurable for both of us, and we will try to go on with a live session for all of you. We'll let you know in advance regarding that, so every parents and students, all of them can join in that session. So the matter of fact which comes over here, the very last but not the least, is that they had their first 4 months or 5 months, like almost the first semester, wherein they drafted some sheets, hand drafted, and some models and all. Still few things were printed and digital. After that, everything they have tried to mobilize or equip their students with the modern world, Because if you look at the complete education, people are talking about this. I don't know why this doesn't go into the head of the people who are sitting on top of this education system. This tech is evolving every day, every single day. What do you have today? Tomorrow there is a launch of something else. Day after is a launch of something. Every day the tech is evolving. Now, when do you get this fact that studying in a college for 5 years where everything I can post on it, everything is completely outdated, drafting sheets for 3-4 years continuously, which no one does to present a plan or a structure to their client, everything has been digitalized. Might be not in that aspect, but no one, no architectural firm is going to ask you to draft a sheet of it by your hand in today's world. Then why the hell do you ask us to drop so many sheets and just present? And it's a nonsense. 39 to 40 exams, damn. Dude, are you seriously talking about 39 to 40 exams? Some of you might be asking me who are planning to take admission. Yes, that's the matter, and that's why some people like me who are kind of thinking some other way around, trying to figure something which they really like, are getting really frustrated. So that's all about the difference. This is all what I have to talk about. Now you guys need to tell me what all do you feel about these things in the comment section. I will be waiting for your comments and I will definitely reply to each one of them. I will make sure I do. Any other queries you do have, connect me on the contact number given in the description box. And most important out of all these things what I've talked about, for students of this present here who are planning to take admission, and as we all know, anyone who is knowing about architecture, you all are planning for SEPT University Ahmedabad. That is the best architecture college right now if I compare within India, to be very frank. Okay, nothing out of the system. Any student who is not getting in there, you can look for the other college option which I have talked about in one of my previous videos, and a scholarship form for that particular college is given in the description box. Go open that scholarship form, check out the details over there. Each and every detail about the scholarship provided from my side to each one of the students planning for their admission in 2022 has been given over there. Most probably I'll be able to come up with such interesting scholarship programs for the upcoming years as well. Check out the scholarship program, do fill the Google form if you're interested in it, connect me for any queries, and that's all for the day. See you all in the upcoming session. And all these things really makes a difference for me, for you. That's all for the day. See you all in the upcoming session.